You ready?
Yeah.
Soaring food prices have kept inflation above 10%, but the government insists its pledge to halve the rate by the end of the year is still on track. For many families, though, the immediate outlook is bleak.
Well, I've been in the shop now 23 years. Just in 1999 I moved in.
About a minute at Hungry, selling £7 chicken wings for £4.50.
Yeah. 40 years ago.
Yeah. He was the guy who had the shop before you,
Yes,
wasn't he?
yes.
Yeah.
Darren, who is going to do your car today, he actually made the introduction.
Oh.
Now, he was looking to retire. He'd had it since 1978, so he'd been in here over 20 years. And I came, had a look, and had faith in my own ability to think, yes, I can do something. And 23 years later, I'm still here. I started when I left school at 16. I am over 60 now, and I've been butchering on and off most of my life, so 45 years now.
Chancellor Jeremy Hunt spoke on the unprecedented energy prices that businesses across the UK are facing.
But I am concerned that even though wholesale prices are lower, a lot of businesses have yet to see the benefit of that in the bills they actually pay. So I'm also asking Ofgem to do an investigation to look into the market.
Did you get support from the government?
We've had support January, February, March of this year. We've not had anything off our current supplier to tell us that that's going to continue into April, May or June.
You want to sort of manage about the government support?
We will manage. Obviously, my profit margin will be down because I'm paying a third more for my electric than I was last year, and because the costs of everything have gone up, I am taking more money, but I'm not making any more profit because I'm having to put the price rises in to accommodate utility costs, to accommodate the price rises in the cost of meat. Chilled meats, paying 60,000 a month, it's gone up to £200,000 a month. They have now closed their slaughtering process and outsourcing to another supplier and then doing production in-house, purely because of cost. That's the cost per month. Mm-hmm. Another supplier of mine, Holden Meats at Sheffield, £2,500 a month, gone to £6,000.
For their electricity bills. Have you ever noticed a struggle like this before?
No, not really. We've had our ups and downs. Sort of a while ago, the crash of 2007, the banking crisis of 2007, 2008, where I think it hit everybody. Since then, it has sort of rolled along. You know, business has rolled along. We don't tend to really take anymore because everything's been at a level playing field. We've had reasonably okay utility prices. Meat's been very stable, but you know, we can look back to the Brexit result, and ever since then, everything's sort of been not so much doom and gloom, but everything's sort of costs are going to go up. Nobody quite knows how much, but you know, we're in the situation we're in, not because of Brexit, but a lot of other things that are going on in the world. During the last probably 2 years since COVID started, we've noticed a continual, steady, constant price rise. Not so much every week, it's sort of once a month, but over the last probably 6 to 8 months, with generally the electric costs or gas costs, gas prices, which everybody's having to factor into everything that's grown in the country, everything that's bred, everything that's sort of fed. We've noticed that it's been more 30, 40p a kilo price rises across the board on a more regular basis. And I think that's tied in with today's inflation figures that have gone up again, mainly down to rising food costs. Yeah. The most noticeable price change over the last few months has been pork. we've found that outside factors such as China importing a lot of pork has sent a shortage throughout Europe, hence the price goes up. And it's, again, over the last probably 6 weeks, we've noticed probably a 30% increase in the cost of pork, all the way from sort of whole pigs to cuts of pork, the belly porks, shoulders of pork, legs of pork, loins of pork, right across the board, to the point where again, you're looking at invoices every day when they come in, just making sure that you're charging the right price for the product. You could end up not necessarily giving it away, but not making any profit on the product you're selling.
These are all the same, so we rotate round.
I think over the last sort of 6 to 8 months, since sort of the utility costs have started to buy, we've noticed people spending more conservatively just on things they want, as opposed to having a certain amount of disposable income. I think people are paying their bills at the end of the month, when they get paid at the end of the month, and we're noticing that we get a bump in trade sort of after the first week of the following month. People are living hand to mouth at the moment. We've had people come in the shop where, because I know them, I'm saying, look, you can come in, you know, in a couple of days' time, just pay me the balance of what you owe. Might only be a few pence, might be £1 or £2, but that's how much of a struggle life seems to be at the moment. Me trying to make money as well, because it's all right putting your prices up, but eventually people will come in and say, no, not having it. There will become a price point for everything that people buys, whether it's cars, houses, etc., etc. People will say no.
I spoke to other independent shop owners in the Meadows to find out about the changes they're seeing in their business.
Okay, my name's Laurie Smith. I'm Operations Director at Advantage Mobility. This year we've seen some huge changes in the behaviour and the patterns of buying and so on, from sales of new equipment to repairs on old and existing equipment. And that's primarily because people cannot afford to buy new stuff. Mm-hmm. The prices on equipment have risen dramatically. I would say they've probably gone up around, over the 6-year period, probably 50%.
Wow.
But the main increases have come in these last 6 months to a year.
Yeah, hi, my name's Kumar. I'm the owner of this business. We've been here 25 years. It's a family-run business. Generally, I would say probably about 10% rise. You know, things like strawberries, you know, used to cost around, I would say, £1 a punnet. Now, they've gone up to about 110, 115, 120 maybe. Unfortunately, sometimes the big supermarkets, we cannot compete with the big supermarkets, and they're competing with each other, so it kind of prices us out in some ways. But then again, during this time where there was a shortage of tomatoes, eggs in the supermarkets, we've always had these items.
What's it like living in the Meadows, working in the Meadows?
I've probably worked here longer than I've lived at home, to be honest with you. I think it's a fantastic community. People who know Nottingham and the NG2 district area will go, you know, there's certain areas that people will tend to avoid, but it's a great community spirit. People will help you, people will pick you up off the floor if you're down, people come in here for a chat, they know it won't go any further. And because we've been here for over 20 years, you're almost part of the furniture. I always wanted to be in sort of fresh food and working in a local supermarket. I got into the greengrocery side of things, and then I was offered an apprenticeship as a butcher. And they say a trade is a good thing, whether it's plumbers, wood joiners, electricians, all good trades to get into. And it's stood me well over 40 odd years of employment. I've always been able to find a job if ever I'm out of a job.
And so you grew up in Nottingham.
Yes, yeah.
Have you always wanted to stay, or was it always?
No, I think I'm one of these people that would like to have travelled but missed the opportunity earlier on in life, and maybe as and when I do retire, that'll be my opportunity to go and travel slightly slower, not as fast paced, but perhaps that's the way to do it.
Don't get the dirty floor.
I'm not just.
Oh, it comes with its stresses, its pressures, but I've always had the saying that if I can still get out of bed in the morning and get up and enjoy what I'm doing, then I will continue doing it. And after 23 years here, after 40 years in the trade, I can still get up in the morning, and it's when I can't get up in the morning, that's when I'll decide to pack it in.